British Columbia is burning on 56 different fronts simultaneously, and firefighting crews are completely overwhelmed. 139 active wildfires are tearing through the province as we speak. 40% of them, 56 fires, are completely out of control. And here's the alarming part. 20 brand new fires ignited in just the last 24 hours alone. This crisis stretches from the coastal mountains all the way to the Prince George region and into the northwest. 2 fires near Boston Bar and the Fraser Canyon have been burning for over 3 weeks and are still growing. Here's everything you need to know about the wildfire situation across British Columbia today. And remember, wildfire data changes fast, so treat these as a snapshot as of July 27, 2026. The Fraser Canyon, 3 weeks and still growing. The biggest story, and it has been for weeks, is the Fraser Canyon. 2 fires, Brunswick Creek and Anderson Creek, have merged into a single complex covering nearly 19,400 hectares, roughly 194 square kilometers of burned forest. Brunswick Creek was first discovered on July 3rd, that's 24 days ago. Anderson Creek ignited on July 5th. Neither one is anywhere close to being contained. Both have been designated wildfires of note, the BC Wildfire Service's way of flagging fires that pose a direct threat to public safety and infrastructure. If you're driving the Trans-Canada Highway 1 between Boston Bar and Boothroyd, pay close attention. That corridor is being intermittently disrupted by smoke and fire activity, and conditions can change with little warning. The Coastal Fire Center, ground zero for out-of-control fires. The Coastal Fire Center is where the concentration of out-of-control fires is most intense. 7 of the 10 confirmed out-of-control fires on today's list are burning within its jurisdiction: Norwegian Creek, Hosakami Mountain, Denard Creek, Big Burn Creek, and Twin Two Creek, all discovered between July 17th and 18th. That's no coincidence. In mid-July, more than 34,000 lightning strikes hit BC's wilderness in just a few days, and that single event is what triggered the wave of new fires now burning across the province. Lightning remains the dominant cause overall. 81% of active fires were ignited that way, according to the BC Wildfire Service dashboard. Only 12% were human-caused, and 6% remain undetermined. Hot, dry conditions, and a lack of rain have made the landscape extremely vulnerable to ignition. Prince George and the Northwest. Up in the Prince George Fire Center, 2 fires are drawing attention. G91077, discovered July 21st, remains out of control. G31209 was discovered just yesterday, July 26th, and is already classified as out of control. Being reclassified that quickly, within 48 hours of discovery, reflects just how dry and volatile conditions are right now. In the Northwest Fire Center, Coyote Creek, discovered July 23rd, is also burning uncontrolled in a remote region where simply getting equipment and personnel on site is its own logistical challenge. And the Signal Hill fire near Pemberton on Highway 99, though currently being held, remains a serious concern for that corridor connecting the sea-to-sky region. The human toll. Behind every number on that dashboard is a family whose life has been upended. According to the BC Wildfire Service app, 32 evacuation orders are currently in effect across the province, meaning those residents had to leave, with 28 additional evacuation alerts active, meaning those residents need bags packed and be ready to go at a moment's notice. As of Saturday morning, the province reported 1,300 properties under mandatory evacuation orders and 6,650 more properties under evacuation alerts. First Nations communities are among those most directly affected. Boston Bar First Nation, Boothroyd Indian Band, Coldwater Indian Band, New-H Indian Band, and Spuzzum First Nation are all sitting right in the fire zones. The Squamish-Lillooet Regional District and the Thompson-Nicola Regional District are both dealing with multiple simultaneous emergencies. The village of Clinton was evacuated Friday due to the Pear Lake wildfire, with residents watching their community threatened from a distance. Officials have confirmed structures on at least 20 properties were damaged or destroyed, from melted siding to complete burn down. The air you're breathing. Even if you're nowhere near a fire, the smoke is coming to you. Environment Canada has issued air quality advisories for the Northeast, the Fraser Canyon, and both the East and West Kootenay regions. Wildfire smoke from BC has also been drifting south into the U.S. Pacific Northwest and east across the country. If you're in the Okanagan, the Fraser Valley, or along the south coast, including Greater Vancouver, conditions can deteriorate rapidly when winds shift. The advice is straightforward. If you're elderly, pregnant, or have respiratory conditions, stay indoors, run your HVAC on recirculate, and if you must go outside, wear a KN95 or FFP2 mask. Check the BC Air Quality website for real-time readings in your area. The part of this story not getting enough attention: water. BC is facing record low stream flows, particularly in the Okanagan Valley. The BC Wildfire Service has stated, in their own words, that fuels on the landscape are as dry as they can get. Water temperatures in rivers and streams are rising, threatening juvenile salmon populations, and local authorities across multiple regions are implementing water restrictions. The province has warned it may step in with protection orders if aquatic ecosystems become critically threatened. This isn't just fire destroying trees, it's cascading damage to fish habitat, drinking water, and agricultural supply. This drought is embedded deep into the landscape, and it's feeding every single one of those 139 fires. The response, massive, and already at capacity. The response effort is enormous. 974 firefighting personnel are deployed across the province right now. 162 aviation assets, helicopters and air tankers, are in the air. 30 pieces of heavy equipment are on the ground building fire guards and access roads. 261 structure protection units, the specialized trucks that defend individual homes and buildings, are stationed throughout the fire zones. 2 incident management teams are coordinating the most complex fire situations. Here's the honest reality, though. The BC Wildfire Service has publicly stated they are at capacity. They're drawing on local fire departments, private contractors, and Federal Reserve resources just to keep up. Nationally, Canada's preparedness level has been raised to 4 out of 5, signaling a significant multi-jurisdictional emergency, with the Canadian Interagency Forest Fire Centre actively moving resources to wherever the need is greatest. The federal government has also announced funding for 10 new wildfire fighting aircraft, a meaningful long-term investment, but one that unfortunately does nothing to help the crews on the ground today. What's coming next? I need to be straight with you. The forecast is not encouraging. BC Wildfire Service officials say there's no rain in sight for the foreseeable future, and Environment and Climate Change Canada is projecting above-average temperatures through July and into August, with dry conditions continuing across much of the southern interior through that same period. The BC Wildfire Service has specifically warned about the risk of additional dry lightning events, lightning with little to no rainfall, from the Okanagan east to the Alberta border. That's the same mechanism that triggered the massive ignition event we saw in mid-July, and officials have warned a repeat of that pattern could trigger another significant wave of new ignitions. The Wildfire Service has used the phrase significant wildfire event to describe what could happen, language they don't use lightly. For the next 24 to 72 hours specifically, today, July 27th, fire danger remains elevated across the interior, with hot, dry conditions persisting. Fire behavior on existing fires will be most aggressive during afternoon hours, when temperatures peak and relative humidity drops. Overnight hours, when temperatures cool and humidity recovers slightly, are the window where crews can make their most effective progress. But with 20 new fires starting every day, every overnight gain risks being erased by morning. Looking further out, BC Wildfire Service officials say no meaningful relief is expected in the near term. For the most current multi-day forecast in your area, check weather.gc. Or the WeatherCan app. Conditions remain highly dynamic and forecasts are updated frequently. What's clear is that demand on firefighting resources continues to exceed available capacity, and that picture isn't expected to change soon. Before you go. This is a developing and rapidly evolving situation. The numbers on that dashboard, 139 fires, 56 out of control, will change by tomorrow. Some may improve. New fires will start. If you're in a fire-affected area, please don't wait for an evacuation order to prepare. Know your evacuation route today. Have your documents, medications, and essentials ready to go. Monitor your regional district's emergency notifications and follow BC Wildfire Service on their app and social media for real-time updates. If you're traveling through BC this week, check the Drive BC website before you go. Road conditions can change with no warning in fire zones. I'll be keeping a close eye on all of this and updating you as the situation develops. If you found this breakdown helpful, like and subscribe, and turn notifications on so you get the updates the moment I post them. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there.